looking for new shoes, trying to expand my possibilities, running something besides Altras. Through a very fortuitous encounter, I have met the local rep for a HOKA. She's going to give me a couple of loaner road shoes to test out and see what I think. I'm pretty excited about this because even when you go to a shoe store and you try shoes on, you don't really get a chance to run in them. A lot of shoe stores will let you run up and down the block in them, but it's going to be a nice test drive.
So I brought two shoes for you today. We've got the Clifton 7, which is the bread and butter shoe of HOKA. And then I also brought you the Carbon X2, so our racing carbon fiber plated shoe for you to try.
Nice.
So pretty pumped for you to get to try two different kinds of shoes.
I was very excited to test drive these and got a chance to run in them for about 2 weeks. I ended with one run where I compared the two shoes directly with my normal daily runner, the Altra Torin Plush. So I'll use the Torin Plush as a baseline. It's a zero drop shoe that has a 28 millimeter stack height. I've been running in Torins as my daily runner for quite some time. And when I first switched to zero drop, it took a little bit of a transition. So I was curious to see what it would be like to go back to shoes that had even a small drop like 5 millimeters. You can also see here I tend to supinate when I run, so I think that impacts my choice of shoes. And the other thing I really like about the Torins is the wide toe box, plenty of room for my nice wide feet. So let's see how they compare to the Clifton 7s.
So this is really going to be your smooth cushion shoe.
Okay.
Very lightweight, going to have more of that HOKA feel.
That HOKA feel underneath my foot was delightful. It was like stepping on the perfect memory foam mattress topper. At the back of my foot, it held my heel nice and snug and comfortable. It was a little tight in the toe box for me. The Clifton 7 is a little lighter than the Torin. The 5 millimeter drop was a concern for me, but as I was running in it, I couldn't feel a difference between that and the zero drop at all. This was an extremely comfortable shoe to run in. On some of the longer runs, I could feel it, particularly on my right foot, on the pinky toe, just rubbing up against there, that tightness of the toe box. The Carbon X2.
And we also brought the faster, energized, responsive feeling shoe that's really great for tempo runs or race day. Jim Walmsley actually almost broke the world record in these shoes, 11 seconds off, but he got the American record. So
I loved the feel of these Carbon X2s. One, the toe box felt a little wider. I had a little more room for my toes. And I didn't realize this till I did the research afterwards, but the stack height is actually higher in this. It's not as plush feeling. It's weird to describe. It's more springy, almost like you're on a trampoline, or you've got a bungee cord just pulling you up into the air. The Carbon X2 is the lightest of the bunch and just a true delight to run in. It's tough to describe the buoyancy you feel with this shoe, that almost as soon as you come into contact, you're just right back up in the air. It really seems to live up to the HOKA tagline of time to fly. One thing I did notice about the Carbon X2s was they seem to retain more water in them than I do with the Torins. Now that wasn't an extensive test, and out of this run I did, it really only rained on me when I was wearing the Carbon. But I've run a lot of miles in the Torin with it being soaky wet. So where do I land overall? Well, I like the HOKAs. I like the feel of both the Clifton and the Carbon X2. I was shocked by the high price tag of the Carbon X2. To sum up in a very simplified manner, I would say running on the Cliftons is like running on clouds, and running in the Carbon X2 is like running on a trampoline. I did find the toe box in the Cliftons a little restrictive. I'd like to try the Cliftons in a wide and see what that looks like. I'd also like to explore some more in the HOKA line. This has been a very fun and engaging and educational test drive. Thank you, Kara, for letting me run in these two models of shoes for 2 weeks. I love the cushion of the Cliftons, and I will look to see if I can find a wide version of those on sale and closeout. I love these Carbon X2s. Part of the reason why I'm starting to look beyond the Altras is the price tag has gotten to be so high at $180, and the fact that I don't do really any road racing, and if I do any road racing, it's nothing of significance where I'm trying to break a world record. I doubt I'll likely invest as much in this, but the HOKA curiosity continues, and I like a lot of elements of these shoes. I will look for some Cliftons in wide. I'm eager to try the trail version of some HOKAs, and I think I'll explore some of the others, like potentially the Mach 4, which I think has got some of the responsiveness, probably not as much as the Carbon, obviously. And the Bondi, which is their high plush. I may try it. I don't think I really want that much of a plush of a shoe, but as many road miles as I tend to log up in the rainy season, might be helpful to at least add that to the mix. I think it's good to branch out beyond one brand, and I'm curious to start looking into some others as well. I was pretty excited. The Running Well store had a pair of the Clifton 7s in wide in a different colorway. I put them on. The toe box feels great. And because the Clifton 8s are coming out, they were on sale. So I went ahead and got them.
So cushy.
If you've test driven some shoes recently and have recommendations for me, I'd love to hear that down in the comments below.